Everybody, what's going on? Hellmite here, bringing you another video from Grab the Lantern today. Today I wanted to talk about a little bit more of a serious subject and a bit more of a meta subject, I guess you would say, and that is with the current restrictions and bans that China has supposedly put out on various popular video gaming titles, specifically including League of Legends. Now, if you haven't seen this, I will have a link to the Fox News Asia article that I actually read and learned all of this from, but I will have that link down in the description if you want to read that by yourself. But regardless, the general gist is that certain popular games have been either restricted or outright banned by the Chinese government. There is a list of a full 12 games, but the biggest titles I saw is that PUBG, Fortnite, H1Z1, Ring of Elysium, and Paladins were all just straight banned by the Chinese government. They are not allowed to be played anymore. And League of Legends, Blade and Soul, Overwatch, Diablo, and WoW were all recommended corrective action. That's not a full ban, but it does kind of imply that unless these companies change their games, that they will be subject to a ban as well. Now, generally speaking, no one is sure if this actually exists or not, because generally, given the way censorship works in China, most of the Chinese community actually doesn't know if this is real or not either, because I guess this is just kind of how they do things. They don't actually come out and specifically say this is what we're going to do. So some people are saying this matches their modus operandi, while other people are saying anyone can fake an Excel spreadsheet. Who's to say that this isn't just a fake as well? So no one really knows at the end of the day if this is real or if this isn't, but regardless of it, it's caused a lot of stir and a lot of controversy online as people try to figure out, well, is this going to be a real thing? Do we have to worry about this? And what kind of changes will be made to these games that we've been playing? Now, at the very least, there are a bunch of criteria that different games have been dinged for. League of Legends is being dinged for supposedly overly revealing female characters, rewards given based on rank, and an inharmonious chat room. Now, it's the last one that a lot of people have really latched onto by saying, wow, League is such a toxic game. You know, definitely that's a reason that they could get banned for it. But if you really think about it, and if you've looked at a lot of these other games on the list that were also dinged for inharmonious chat room, League is probably the least offensive one of them. I would definitely say that Riot has done a huge deal to get League into a better spot. I barely ever see verbal toxicity in my games nowadays, so I find it hard to believe that that's the biggest issue. But the other thought I had is that it might be that Riot China aren't enforcing their chat filters nearly as much as they could be. Obviously, Riot in LA doesn't do the enforcing for the rest of the world. Different Riot organizations and different communities do that. In fact, that was one of the major cruxes of Cowcep's ban in Korea earlier this year, was saying essentially that the Riot Korea decided that his chat was definitely worth banning when he didn't feel that it was, and in my opinion also wasn't, but that's not what we're really talking about right now. So regardless, I don't think that the inharmonious chat room is a big enough deal unless Riot China hasn't been upholding their filter and making sure things are going okay over there. But I can definitely see the overly revealing female characters. In fact, there was, when Evelyn was reworked, she actually came with 2 different splash arts, one of which they used specifically in Korea, which is slightly more covered up version of Evelyn. So I can definitely see that being a problem. In which case, I'm not actually that worried about whether or not League would be banned. I think that Riot have actually shown that they can put in different versions of the same splash art and display whichever one based on the region. They actually did that for Turkey and other regions that had issues with tobacco usage with the grave splash art. So in North America, he still has his cigar. In other regions like so, he does not have the cigar. So that wouldn't actually be that big of a ban. Now, the biggest thing is the rewards given based on rank. I'm not quite sure what to make of that criteria. A lot of games do that. Of course, a lot of the games that do it were also dinged on this list, including Overwatch. So I'm not quite sure what, if anything, the Chinese government is trying to say about that, or what problem they're trying to combat there. That seems like a fairly standard thing that a lot of different games do. So again, not quite sure what Riot would really do in that regard. The biggest thing is it's all digital content anyways, so I'm not really quite sure what they would actually do, if anything. So I'm not quite sure what they're trying to do here. And again, we don't know if this is a real list or not. No one has actually come out and said. Just a Reddit user supposedly said this is something that the Chinese government is planning on doing after a committee reviewed the ethics of these games. Now, it also interesting to note is that almost all of the Battle Royale games, the most popular Battle Royale games, I should say, so PUBG, Fortnite, Ring of Elysium, they were all outright banned. So at the very least, this list is somewhat consistent. Now, I am surprised that the Paladins Battle Royale version was not also banned. I don't remember the name at the moment, but that was not on the list. So they would be missing at least one of the Battle Royale game modes. The other issue that calls the list into question is the fact that Fortnite was supposedly banned for blood and gore when it famously does not have any blood or gore in it whatsoever. So it does, again, raise some questions. Now, it could very well be the government or this committee, this ethics committee, essentially inventing a reason for why they're going to ban the game. I could certainly see them doing something like that. But again, we don't quite know. So at the end of the day, I would be hesitantly cautious about this list. I would take everything with a little bit of a grain of salt. Again, we don't quite know exactly what the details are on this yet, so I wouldn't just outright say Riot needs to start making changes, but I also at the same time wouldn't immediately start saying that we should just completely ignore it and not think about it at all. I think this is potentially an issue, especially, and it would come at such an inopportune time as well, given that China just received their first world championship with Team Invictus, and it would be really disappointing to see them maybe never be able to play League of Legends again. So stay tuned for this. I will probably do more content on this as it comes out, so pay attention to the Twitter and to my blog. I probably will be coming out with more of this if we get more details. Let me know what you guys think of this whole ban thing down in the comment section below. Would love to hear your thoughts, especially if you have more context on this. I would love to get some more information going for myself. If you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and leave a like, and if you really enjoyed today's video, consider subscribing. I upload a video every Monday, Friday, and on patch days as well. And if you're looking for more news content like this, let me know that as well. I should have said that earlier, but let me know if you want to see more newsy kind of content like this as well. It's something a little bit different for me from what I normally do in these podcasts, so I'd actually love to hear your guys' thoughts if you want to see some more stuff like this. Anyways, once again, thank you guys so very much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I will talk to you all later.